Your artwork is, I mean, you've gone viral a few times. You've had exposure on probably the biggest cultural platform, and Shannon Sharp, Uncle Shay Shay, super duper cool creative style in relation to art. So, explain to me first, like, what was your journey into art? Because you're actually self-made, right. And when you get to the level, the quality, how did it start? Because I've always been intrigued. Some people are trained, some people are natural.
Well, before it's a natural God-given ability. I started when I was 6 years old, just literally drawing my favorite cartoon characters or superheroes on TV.
No doubt.
And literally just freehanding it along. And I would go back to it and then stop. Go back to it and then stop. Basically, when I like literally went through some trials and tribulation, sure. I used it as therapy for myself.
So good. It's so good that we can now make the connection, because I don't think anyone, growing up, no one makes those connections.
Right.
Things like journaling, things like writing, things like art. What, if you don't mind, what was it at that time that really kind of, like I said, because number one, as a young man, African-American man, now we're having all these conversations around mental health and things of that nature. What was the challenge that you dealt with at the time that caused you to kind of, use that as a retreat and a healing mechanism?
A lot of family issues, as far as very, very deep-rooted family issues that occurred. I didn't know the route to go to college. I did 1 year at Morgan State in Baltimore. But they say college isn't for everybody, and that's absolutely true. I believe that.
It's proven now.
It's proven now. You can learn a trade. There's other opportunities that you can have.
Absolutely.
But after those bumps in the road,
sure.
with my family, my immediate family, and I just went back to it as a psychological thing, just to get my mind right.
Absolutely.
And set myself up.
Yeah, I tell people all the time. I said I was my big pastime for me as a kid was just color. It's still mad therapeutic.
It's still therapeutic. Absolutely.
It's still mad, and I used to hard border the outline of the color just so my joint could stand out. Yep. That's about as far as I got with hard. I used to press that crayon down real hard, like
right, yeah,
had that bold outline. But nah, man, it's been so I just love that component. What was life like growing up for you? Because we talk about just everybody's got a journey, and when I consider, obviously humans are a piece of art in themselves.
Right.
The process of arriving to a particular destination, that's kind of what we get into. But what was life like growing up? What were some of the greatest challenges that you had as a young man? Even as men, we're starting to talk more about the awkward phases, growing into your teens, acceptance, rejection.
Right.
What were some of the challenging phases for you as you were just coming into maturity and discovering who you were as a young man? You already noted that college wasn't the route. What was the deepest places of wrestling for you as a man?
Just a lot of self-conscious issues. Kids growing up can be very cruel.
Woo!
You get what I'm saying?
Bro.
Even now, you can see it on social media.
Well, it's
they
just
get
turned
worse.
cyber now instead of we see your face a little bit more.
The personal jabs is just like now it's public now.
Yeah.
So that's what it was like. And I used to get picked on. Like I used to get picked on for my weight being heavy and stuff like that. And like I said, I would channel back into being inclusive, like at home.
Gotcha.
Literally at home, drawing, doing stuff that I love to do, video games, stuff like that would make me happy. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
I grew up in a single family household.
Got you.
My dad was in and out battling his demons.
Got
he
you.
was in and out of incarcerated. But when he was there, he was a great father. But unfortunately, he was battling his demons.
Yeah, it's real stuff.
So he passed away 3 years ago, unfortunately, of a drug overdose. So
I'm sorry to hear that.
But yeah,
man, I'm so sorry to hear that. It's great. It's great that you can still have that sober reflection of him, understanding that my dad wasn't in the house, and I tell people I got this journey. Just to sum it up, get back. I got this journey that's really blessed me in the sense that I knew my dad gave his best. We always had a good relationship. And, And I think where so many of us, especially in our generation, you know, these 80s babies flowing up, there was kind of breaches in our homes in different ways. Even if a father was there, he might have been emotionally absent.
Absolutely.
And men are so much better today in relation to being able to facilitate the needs of children and family, maybe than they were equipped to back in the day. So when I listen to you, you kind of have that sense of honor and appreciation for who he was when he was present.
Absolutely. When he was president, he was a dad. He was definitely a dad. But drugs is a sickness, so
talk about
drugs is a sickness. So you know, that person is not there. You know, that person that I say that was my dad, he wasn't there at the time because of that, you know. But the things I took from him, I took positivity from him as well.
Sure.
Like I said, when he was there, he was there. He bought me my first car. So like when he was there, he bought me my first car. He always taught me, and I stuck with it. And my dad was an athlete too. Like he played football. I played football too.
Nice.
But my dad played for FAMU. That's how him and my mom met.
Tough.
That's how they met. At Florida A&M. My dad was a
Salute
Floridian.
HBCU?
Yeah, my dad was a Floridian.
Okay, got you.
So, but the thing I did take from him is trouble is easy to get in, but it's hard to get out of.